Hello everyone, Caffeine here and welcome to my video. Today we'll be tier listing every single song in Hazbin Hotel, and I mean every single song. Even the pilot ones, the ones in the actual show, and even one fan-made one that's on Wibsy Hop's channel, so we'll call that one canon as well. It's called Addict, it's about Angel Dust and Cherry Bomb. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have our tier list at first. At the top tier, we have The Speak. These are the greatest songs. These are the ones that I listen to every day. These are the ones that I found almost no flaws with. And after that, we have the great tier list. These are the songs that are very good, but they are not the ones that I personally love very much. They might be somebody else's favorite songs, but not mine. And the next tier, we have the mid songs. The songs that are actually very good. They're very good songs, but they're not just as good as the great ones. There might be some parts of them that are great, but some parts just aren't. After that, we have the tier list. These are the songs that aren't really that good as the others because, let's be honest, this show doesn't really have a bad song. They're just uh, they might be somebody else's favorite, I don't know, but they were to me, so they go here. And with that, let's get into our songs. Our first song is the first song that we ever hear in this show. It's the first song in the pilot, the one that we get introduced into the whole concept of it, and it's called I'm Always Chasing Rainbows. And it's sung by Charlie, or at least her previous voice actress. And let me be honest with you, I'm not a fan of slower songs, and this one was definitely one of those. It's quite typically an I Want song by a princess, but it's in hell, which is the entire concept of Charlie, so it makes sense. But it's just never been one of my favorites. It's not bad, so and I never really found a part that was wrong with it, but it's not really great. It's not one that I listen to all the time. So it goes in mid tier. Our next song is Inside Every Demon is a Rainbow. And this is the second song that is also sung by Charlie during an interview on the live TV show. And this is one of those songs that has been always to me. I know I said I didn't like the slow song, and I suppose this is the limit for how fast a song can be for me to tolerate it because it's too fast. I can't make out the lyrics. I mean, we do have very fast songs in this show, don't get me wrong, but at least I can understand what the character is saying. In this song, I can't understand what Charlie's singing about. It's just some random jumbled noise mashed together. and and the more it goes on, the more annoying it gets. So I suppose this is our first F tier for me. Our next song is Inside Every Demon is a Lost Cause, which is a parody to the song that Charlie just sang about Inside Every Demon is a Rainbow, but it's Alistair's song, so it's a lost cause. And I'm a firm believer that unfortunately I had to put this on the internet, but the voice actor for the show was better for the one on the pilot because I think it was just too much radio effect. But don't get me wrong, this song is one of my favorites. It's so fun to watch because of how much it's different from what Charlie sang. And it's just so Alistair, like, okay, these things are going to hell, they have no chance, but let's dress them up. What the hell, kid? And I just love it. So this goes on to mid, but very close to great because I just can't bring myself to put it onto the great tier list because I know we have some huge bangers in the actual show. And it makes sense because this pilot didn't have as much budget as the show had, nor did it have Broadway singers. It makes sense, but it is still my favorite pilot song. And after that, we have our fan-made song, The Addict. Now, this was on Wibsy Pop's channel. It wasn't in the show or the pilot, but I couldn't help myself to not put it in there because I love it so much. And it is our first song that is going onto the great tier list. Because I know it's a very general pop song, but I just love it so much. The voice of the cherry bomb and Angel just harmonizing. It is beautiful, and you know what they're singing about, which makes it even more interesting to watch because they're singing about like their misery, but it's fun, which is I guess the theme of the whole show. I mean, they're in hell, but they're trying the best that they can. And it's great. Their best is great, and it's going into the great tier list. I just love it so much. Even though it's very generic, it's very one rhythm keeps playing over and over and over, but I still can't have like help myself but bob to it every time I listen to it. It's just so fun. So yeah, it's going on to the great tier list. I don't care what you say. We finally get to the songs that are in the actual show and probably are the reason why you clicked on this video in the first place. Our first song is Happy Day in Hell. Now, this is a very good example of a Disney song within a very hellish environment that I like. Like the one that I'm always chasing rainbows, that was just a Disney song. This one is a Hazbin Hotel song because it has the rhythm, it has the like dreamy voice of the princess who's singing about the great day in hell, but it's in hell, like it's obvious in hell. People are singing about the misery in the soul. It keeps getting cut off by a bunch of cannibals and random people on the street, and it's great. I love it, especially like since it still has the offbeat energy, which, like I said in the previous song, it's the theme of the whole show. Everything is awful here, but we are having fun with it, and I love it. This one is also going to great because I love so many other songs more than this one, but it still is a very good song, so it's going in the great tier list.
And after that, we have our pseudo first villain song, Hell is Forever. And let me be honest with you that this is one of my top tiers. This is going into this peak tier because honestly, I love Beetlejuice, and this song is sang by the Beetlejuice, and it feels like a Beetlejuice song. It is so evil, and Adam is spewing such a bullshit, but I still love it anyway because the visuals are great, the song is great, the guitar solo is great, and you are just bopping to it, even though you hate it, even if you wanna hate it, because how unfair it is, because it is bullshit, but you still love it, you still listen to it anyway, because it's just so good. It's so great. It's the visuals is one of the most interesting ones in the whole show because it's usually about a character going somewhere, like walking somewhere. This one actually has music video visuals for it. It's so interesting to see, and especially since it's so dooming by the end of it that like it's revealed, yes, 6 months later we are gonna come to the hell and destroy all of you, not in a year. But you still love it, even though it feels bad, even though it's wrong, but it's a villain song and you enjoy it to your core. So with all honors, this is our first peak. And after that, we are following right behind with another banger, Stay Gone. I hate to put two disc peaks right after each other, but come on, it's just so good. The Stay Gone song, it's our introduction to Vox, first of all, which is very important since it was revealed in season 2. He's going to be one of the main villains, so it was a very important song, but it was so fun to watch. This is an example of a song that is sang very fast, especially on Vox's part, because he's just trying to throw all this gospel, which he admits to it in the song, right after each other, to just like bury his anxiety that, oh shit, Alistair is back, that demon is back. And then you have the contrast with the confident, the very sleek Alistair. And Alistair is my favorite character in the show. Obviously, he's the fan favorite for a reason. And it's just so fun, and especially like the Uno reverse card at the end of it. I'm gonna make you wish I stayed gone instead of making you wish that you stayed gone, which Vox sang. It's just great. You have the very fast song, you have this upbeat and jazzy, and then there is this menacing end to it, which is sang by Alistair, and his creepy ass visuals that he has. And it's great because it's not just a song either. It actually like forwards the story. Like I said, it's important for you to understand Vox through this song, especially like it gave us so many hints about him and Alistair's past, like how they were used to like at least somewhat going to work together. Like Vox said, come work for me, and Alistair said no, and now he's busy. That's the tea. And I just love this song so much because I loved every part of it, like the menacing beginning that is a villain song. Then you have the middle that is just so addicting to watch because of all the visuals, all these shifts and formats that Vox is shifting through. And then again, the Uno reverse, the holy Uno reverse. This is just so great. It's just so good at storytelling into one song. And I just love this back and forth between rivals here. And it makes me so interested about both of their characters. So this does the job in both the storytelling performance and just the visuals and the song itself perfectly. This is the speak, like the number one for me. And with the next song is unfortunately the territory that we get into, that the songs are not as good as the previous ones. The next song it starts with Sorry. And like I said, I'm not a fan of slow songs, and the problem with this song is that it's just so forgettable. Like I had to literally like search a list of like the songs of Hazbin Hotel for me to like be reminded, oh, this exists. It's important, obviously, because if Charlie hadn't gave Sir Pentious that chance, he wouldn't have become a member to the Hazbin Hotel, and he wouldn't have his great redemption arc. But still, it's so forgettable. Like the best part of it for me is this also very short part that Angel Dust and Vaggie sing together, because their voices together is just phenomenal. We need a song of these two. But that was it, and it ended so quickly. And the rest of it is just slow and forgettable, like I said. It's very much like I'm always chasing rainbows. It's very forgettable, and it's going the same tier as I'm always chasing rainbows. And after that, we follow up with a great song. Not a speak great song, but still a very great song, Respectless. This song at first really caught me off guard because of how it started with Carmilla singing it. It was just very weird with this Spanish, like Espanol guitar backing it up. And then Velvet started singing, and it was so good because their stories clashes so much. Like I said, Carmilla always has this Spanish guitar backing her up. She has this very Spanish accent, obviously, and she like drags her like notes. And then you have Velvet, a very poppy who is like rapping through this with their amazing accent, and it clashes in the best way. Like the parts that like they start singing right after each other, those are really good. And like it's very nice to hear like the diversity of like the vocals just coming together. And it's again an important song because it shows who Velvet is, who also is going to be a main villain in the second season, much like Vox. And this just made me love her character so much because of how brutally honest she is. Like, I'm not the one who needs a new attitude. You need to stop around. Just love it so much. And it's because you know it's a facade. Because she's trying to make these overlords go to war so they would be in trouble. So she and the rest of the V's would be on the top of the heap at the end of it. She doesn't actually want to fight. She doesn't actually fight at the end of the season. And it's just her brain that thinks of that. She really might be the backbone of the V's, and it shows. I just love this song so much. And it's not a diss peak because it's not a song that I listen to it on repeat. It might get a bit repetitive when you listen to it too much. But it's still one of the top tier songs of the whole show. And it's going in the great tier list. And after that, we follow it up with Whatever It Takes. Now, this is a song that has been quite disrespected in the community. It's always in the bottom of the lists. And I get it why. It's obviously not a very high top tier song that everybody thinks of when they're thinking of the songs of this show. And I get it, but I still really like it. The voice of Carmilla and Vaggie together is just amazing. The final harmony is so beautiful. And it might be a high take, but I liked Carmilla's part better than Vaggie's. And actually, Vaggie's part kind of was bland for me. But my main problem with this song was that it wasn't necessary. Like all the songs in this show, in some way, they forward the story, even if they are not really the best. This one didn't, because it was obviously a build-up to the relationship we came to see from Vaggie and Carmilla working together, as they're both of their motivations are the same. Both of them are trying to protect their loved ones. But we already got a better song for that later on in like Out for Love. We really didn't need this one, but we got it anyway. And I guess because of that, I kind of, if it wasn't that it wasn't unnecessary, I would have put it in a great tier. But I think because it's unnecessary, I'm going to put it in the mid tier. And after that, we get everyone's the speak tier, Poison. This song broke me. Like, it actually broke me. I know it's very obvious, but I guess that's the reason why it breaks you. Because I know some people are complaining that it romanticizes essay, and I guess that's the point, because Angel does that. He himself says that I disassociate and I disappear. So this song is about him romanticizing it and disappearing and dissociating. So it makes sense why it's so happy, why it's so poppy, why it's so freaking fun to dance to, because that's what Angel is doing. He's dissociating, he's disappearing. He's trying to cope with this horrible situation by disappearing into a safe place in his head. And you can see it even at the end of the chorus, like the parts where he's singing and dancing, the parts of reality that are just too harsh for him to ignore, just sleep through in like multiple scenes. They kind of sleep through and they show. And at the end of it, you see Valentino just grabbing him and pulling back to reality. It's a song that's so, like, it makes you feel guilty for listening to it. And I guess that was like my biggest problem with it, because I couldn't listen to it without thinking about the things that Angel went through. But eventually, like, I realized I could love it and I could listen to it on repeat, and this is by far one of the most favorite songs of the community, and it's for a reason. This is going in the This Week without any doubts, without any discussion. It's going in the This Week. And right after that, we have another one, Loser Baby. Loser Baby was that emotional wash that episode 4 really needed. And I love it so much, especially since we didn't have so much going on with Husk before that. He was just this grumpy crack character that really didn't have that much depth. And then you see him making this connection with Angel Dust after, like, you see the horrible things that Angel has been going through. And I love the way that he just comforts Angel, because most of the time when you actually want someone to comfort you, you like go to them and you talk to them, they're like, oh, you're not so bad, it's gonna be fine. And that just makes you want to think of more things that, hey, no, there is a reason why I'm breaking down in front of you, I'm miserable because of this and this and this. Husk doesn't do that. He's just like, oh yeah, shit, you're going through some shit, huh? But somehow you're not alone, you don't have to go through this alone. And I guess that's the best way for it. And I think this song is the song that like defines the show the most, because all of these people are in hell. They're like at the worst of the worst, and they're all losers, baby. And at least they have company, they have each other, they have friends, and maybe if they eat together, it might end up differently. And that's, I guess, the whole show. This song is obviously much more slower than my other like top picks, but I love it too much not to put it in this pick. I know it's like we are having too much in the great tier and this big tier, like all of them are going there. But I just can't help it. Loser Baby has such a big place in my heart. It just comforts me so much, and honestly, it made me ship Oscar does so much. Even if they end up just friends, I'll be happy. Just give us more content of this too. I crave it so much. This is going this big. And after that, we have Hell's Greatest Dad. This song is a combination of the speak part and an part mashed together. Don't get me wrong, I really like their voices. Jeremy Jordan is one of my favorite Broadway singers of all time. Ever since I've watched Tangled the series, he's been one of my favorites. And his combo with Alistair is just so good. Like the first part of his song is so great. It's just the speak. I listen to it every day. And that just makes me so much more angry for the last part of it. Like even like just forget about Mimsy's part, because I know most people just hate that part. They just cut it off. Like they don't even consider that part of the song. But like after the part that Alistair and Lucifer have their like solo like fiddle and piano play, I guess after that it just goes downhill and it goes to the air territory so goddamn fast, and I couldn't be more mad than I am because I love the first part. Like I listen to it daily and it just makes it so much worse because I just love these two characters together. First of all, like Alistair and Lucifer, and Alistair just screwing around with Lucifer like I'm young, becoming your daughter's father figure, and Lucifer is there like what? I just love it so much. And then you have the last part. God, why? It hurts me to do so, but I can't put this song in the great tier. I'm gonna put it in mid tier. I might change my mind. Because here's the thing, the other songs that I put in the great tier, their main problem is that they're just not my favorites. But they are perfect songs, like at least very near perfect songs. But this one, half of it is perfect, the other half isn't. And I guess it would be unfair to put it in a great tier. And after that, we have yet another masterpiece by Lucifer and Charlie, More Than Anything. This song, I guess it's like my favorite slow song of the whole show, mainly because it rekindles some of my problems, aka daddy issues. But I guess it's just one of the most heartfelt songs that I've heard recently. Because they're both so desperate. Both Charlie and Lucifer are just a father and daughter who've been separated and now are so badly trying to get together and like communicate and relate to each other and be each other's family. It's so beautiful. And you see both of their point of views of how much Charlie admired her dad, that he was the reason that she became a dreamer. And you see that Lucifer is just trying to protect her daughter from the same thing that he went through, that he got shot down because he was a dreamer. He went to hell because he dreamed too far. And you see it throughout the episode. He's like, yeah, I gave these people free will. Look what they did. They're awful. They don't deserve redemption. But I guess that kind of is technically my biggest problem with this song. The 180 that Lucifer does, and it does it so quick. But I guess that's not really important in the end. It's just such a beautiful song. And I guess the only reason I'm not putting it in this pick is just because I don't listen to it too much. Like I said, I'm not a fan of slow songs. So this is going in the great tier and one of the higher rankings of great tier because it's just so beautiful. I love Jeremy Jordan's voice so much. This is going in the great tier. And after that, we have Welcome to Heaven. Do you remember at the beginning of the video when I said, there are no bad songs in this show really? Yeah, I take that back. Welcome to Heaven is the most blandest I've ever heard. Like, I don't know who St. Peter voice actor is. I don't even care enough to check. This song was the worst by far. I'm going to make the entire tier of bad just for this song. It was so bad. Like, and I guess that's the funny part because like heaven is supposed to be like way better than hell, but not in the musical department, baby. Because that was worthless. It was worthless. I mean, I get they wanted like a song to like introduce heaven with, and they did a really great job. I hated heaven much more than I did before. After that, I just yeah, it doesn't even worth mentioning anymore. Let's just move on. And after that, we have You Didn't Know, aka let's put 20 plot points into the whole show into one song. Let's see what happens. And they did it greatly. You Didn't Know is one of my favorite songs. And I know I said it like too much. Come on, there are just too many good songs, okay? And too many things happen during this. You get such a like good description of both Sarah and Emily's characters, who are just two new characters, and you get them so well during this one song. Especially like everybody, like when they met Emily, I believe, they all went, "Oh, this is just Charlie for heaven," but. In this song, she kind of showed that she's very different from Charlie as well, because Charlie always sweet quotes her like her words. She doesn't stand up to people that she respects. Like she has trouble even standing up to Valentino, someone she doesn't really care about. Emily like stands up to Sarah, someone she admired, to think that I admired you. Like that's some power move right there. I really love Emily for it. Like they made us love a character within one song that was not entirely about her. Like so many other things were happening. You had the Seraphim learning about the exorcist just going down and killing everyone. You had the fact that Adam was like, yeah, we are gonna come to your hotel first, and then Vaggie being revealed to be an angel. You had so many things happen, and how nobody knows like what gets someone into heaven. And on top of that, you have these gorgeous visuals. You have this great harmony between Charlie and Emily, and it's perfect. It's the speak. Like this is going in the speak. And after that, we have Out for Love. This is a song that I've seen people mostly put in like great or mid, but this is one of my favorites. You know why? Because this is a song that made Whatever It Takes useless. And it did it with a good reason, and it did it in a very great way. I love Carmilla's song. Like, her sound, her voice is amazing. And on top of that, great visuals. I always like the dynamic character between Vaggie and Carmilla so much. They are just so similar. They are both very cold, very untrusting. They are very protective of their loved ones, and just seeing them together was so good. And they did it better than Whatever It Takes, because like again, the music as itself is better in my opinion, because it didn't have a bland part in Vaggie's part. I'm sorry, Vaggie fans. And I just love this one so much because its format was also very unique. Like we didn't have that Spanish guitar like anywhere else, maybe a little bit in Respectless. But other than that, we didn't. And I really like this one, and this is going this peak. And after that, we have Ready for This. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I'm putting Ready for This in the mid tier. It's don't get me wrong, this song does the job that it's meant to do perfectly. It rallies you up for the final battles that is about to come in the next episode, and it does it great. You are fired up, you want to see this thing go down, but that's really it. I found myself not really liking this song. I guess the only part that I really enjoyed was the last part where like the entire chorus is. But the rest of it's just very neat to me. I mean, it's a beautiful song. Obviously, all of Hazbin Hotel songs, as is most of them, are. But it didn't have anything great for me. I don't listen to it all the time. It's not a forgettable song either to go in the category. It's just, it does the job. It's a mid tier for me. And after that, we have More Than Anything Reprise. Obviously, this for me wasn't as good as the first one. Maybe because it was just so much shorter. I wanted more of it because mainly, even though Charlie and Maggie are a canon couple that are actually together, we don't see much of them. They don't have a song together except this one. They don't really kiss except for this one. Not that I minded because there's the scenes that they had together was really cute. I didn't really mind it that much, but I guess this was also very mid to me. It didn't have the impact of more than anything the original. But it's still very great. I really like the sound of Charlie and Maggie singing together, and the kiss they share is just so cute. I love them so much, but yeah, I guess this is also going into the mid category. I'm sorry. And at the finale, we have the finale, and it's going into the great category. All of the voices of all of this very diverse cast coming together in this beautiful harmony, and it's such a good ending to the show, especially with the tiny nod with the happy day in hell at the end of it. That was so cool. And all of these voices just singing this happy song as they're rebuilding the hotel in this perfect form that now it's getting. It's so good and fills you with so much joy. Even though during all of it, I was like, what about Precious, dude? But they gave us after that something about him anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. It's just such a beautiful song to tie the whole show together. I suppose the only part that I have a problem with is Alistair's part. Don't get me wrong, when I watched the show, that part gave me chills, and it was my favorite part. But I guess after a while, when you're just listening to this song as a standalone to get happy feelings, to I don't know, do your chores and stuff like that, suddenly the emo part of Alistair plays and you just have to wait for this edgelord to finish. But yeah, this is song, it's great. I don't know what to say about it. There wasn't anything wrong with it. All of the voices were great. It gave me so much joy at the end of the show, even though Precious was dead. It's great. I loved it. And it's going in the great tier. And with that, we have all of our songs concluded, I believe, right? I might do a Hell of a Boss songs because I haven't watched Hell of a Boss yet. But yeah, I guess that was it. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would help me out greatly. Thank you all of you for watching, and I see you guys in the next video.